Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, joined today by my good buddy Ditaku.
In this game.
It's relatively new. I think it only came out late last year, and this is I don't know if you're familiar. I don't know how much you keep on the cusp of these things, Ditaku man. But are you familiar with liminal spaces as used in horror?
I know. Okay, so I understand that the concept of a liminality, which is it's supposed to be a boundary. So I assume, judging from that it would be the boundary between life and death.
That is honestly more interesting than most of these have actually attempted. Rather, a liminal space in this context is an area that kind of serves as a connector into another area, and apparently, it's created something of a subgenre in horror, because apparently some people find them incredibly, cripplingly uncomfortable. Now, I am not one of those people. I actually think they're pretty neat. Because a lot of the time, I'll see these photos will just kind of circulate online, and there won't usually oftentimes be a context or oh, this is like this location at this city. A lot of the time, you get it without any of that. So the imagination fills in the blanks, and apparently, it makes people very anxious. Uh, Again, I just think it's neat. And this game was on sale, the spring
Literally,
sale, so I decided to give
oh,
this a go.
so literally, it's just a fear of like corridors.
From what I can tell,
Like,
basically, yes. A lot of the times, see, the thing is, a really good, in my experience, the best, liminal space horror is typically the ones that treat it like a museum or a haunted house exhibit, where, ooh, graphics are quite nice. Very smooth. Uh, the most annoying ones turn into generic chasers. And for some reason, we were just in this indoor pool. Cool. Wow, it's so fluid, it actually feels a little unnatural.
considering I'm currently stuck in me side in this bit where you have to go through a corridor chased by 5 different metas, I understand your frustration with runners, let me tell you.
We do have limited stamina. It's based on how heavy our dude is breathing. So we can run, but I cannot jump and I cannot crouch. That kind of gives us some idea of what we're up against.
So we're playing as a Redditor. Ayo!
Lol. See, there's several... If you look up liminal spaces on a Google search, there's several photos that are going to show up without fail. And several of them are these weird, eclectic, indoor pools from these foreign club spaces. And a lot of them are just very weirdly designed, and the way the photos are shot, it's kind of unclear as to where an exit would be, for example. So you see a lot of these indoor pool areas in these games. And
All right, I'm looking it up right now. A liminal space, according to Google, is a transitional or in-between area, evoking feelings of ambiguity and unease. It marks a shift between two areas, states, or realms. And the pictures they have are, it looks like an underground parking garage, a large empty, it looks like a large empty conference room,
all right.
and basically a long hotel corridor, looks like a pretty swanky place, judging from the carpet.
I was about to say, honestly, a lot of them look really neat. And honestly, it's where a lot of the inspiration for things like the backrooms.
Yeah, literally, they're one of the related links is the backrooms, and so I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't find that scary in the slightest.
See, I will
honestly,
say... Oh, good.
I mean, I was just gonna say, if you really want to spook a Ditaku, you gotta focus more on body horror. The professor can tell you, I find that deeply unsettling.
Yep.
So,
After we did Slay the Princess, he was like, you did the razor on purpose just to get under my skin, didn't you? And I was like, no, I did it because it's hilarious. But the fact that it bothered you does kind of add something.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not a fan. But, I honestly don't find most things scary. But maybe that's because I have a vivid imagination and I can imagine way worse than things. And they're like, guys, but what if there's like a big scary alien? It's like, I don't know. The alien in my head is way scarier than the thing that you're presenting me with.
That's true. Fear of the unknown will always be the most potent fear, which may be why liminality bothers some people, because like their imagination fills in the rest. And I don't know, maybe there's something to that. But I don't know. For me, these are just kind of neat open exploration games, and some of them have actually used them to pretty decent effect. One I did not too long ago was Anemoiopolis or something like that, and I enjoyed that one. There was one chase sequence, but it was really short and self-contained, so I didn't mind it. And there was even a bit where you could play mini golf as much as you wanted, so that was pretty cool.
There, honestly, some of those SCPs that take advantage of that, I think, are honestly some of the most interesting ones. Like the infinite stairway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we are definitely going down the water slide.
Oh baby! I love water slides. I don't know about you, Professor.
Oh no, definitely. Whee!
Woohoo! See, a younger Dutaco, I haven't been to a water park in years. My this is the Dutaku strat, was to make myself as thin as I could, stretch myself out, and try and go as fast as I could down the water.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Now see, I will say, because the backrooms are an iconic bit of liminal space horror, the only part of the backrooms that was ever good was the original green text. All this fan-made nonsense afterwards completely undermined the point. The entire thing in the original green text was the invocation of the unknown. Something was weird, it was off, ever so slightly off, and you were warned. If you hear something, it hears you. That's the entirety of your warning, which implies that you're not alone and therefore not safe. That is brilliant horror storytelling, because your brain fills in the gaps with whatever it is you're most afraid of. Now, the quote-unquote fans, that's interesting. The fans took it in, like, almost the opposite direction. There's entire, like, Wikipedias made up of, like, this is the different floors of the back rooms, and they're all perfectly documented, and we know everything that lives there and everything you can do to defeat them. And I'm like, that's not horror. No, that's just a bestiary. That's a to-do checklist. There's no horror. There's no excitement. There's no unknown. You guys have literally done the opposite of what good fear of the unknown horror ought to be doing. Like,
I
literally
think there's
the
also
opposite.
I think there's all the issue that you may be encountering, and this is kind of just not just a thing unique to horror, Professor.
Right.
There is a undercurrent in writing right now, basically in all fiction, which takes fantastic elements and effectively strips them out of a story.
Right. Something in the water.
Probably the closest I can think, and the most like basic I can think of, is one of the latest Warhammer things takes the mystic substance Wraithbone, and instead of basically being like solidified warp stuff, where it literally is like crazy Eldar mystic artisans, only a handful of select people who go on a very particular training can basically reach out into the warp at particular points, like grab a clump of this stuff and basically solidify it into a material that they can use to build things. And because it is basically just the warp, it reacts to their psionic abilities, and they can basically meld it into whatever they need. However,
Hello, this is Snek.
instead of this, hello, this dog. That's very racist. No one's going to get that.
Wait, was the phone over this way?
No,
guess they hung up.
But instead of that, basically, Games Workshop said, no, it's not literally magic soul stuff. It's just ores and metals from planets that you mine, which is way less interesting, way less evocative. It basically makes it from literally magic to, yeah, it's just another metal, which is really boring, honestly.
There's a person over there.
A lot of Exalted suffers from this too. They take things that were like mystic and kind of mysterious and spooky, and they're like, oh yeah, it's just like a guy, which is honestly kind of lame. So I get where you're coming from.
It's like, a good horror should make you feel ill at ease after the experience. Like, the reason the first Five Nights at Freddy's works is because of the tension. The jump scares are a payoff, but that's a breaking of tension. The tension was, something's out there, I know something is out there, and it knows I'm here, but we don't know where each other are yet. And, like, that's the thing. When you document, when you have a wiki for every single monster and every single thing you can encounter, you are no longer experiencing horror. You're just going through a game walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not a person at all. The phone's not even plugged in. You guys are idiots.
Well, I think that I think the issue is basically the atomization of people has limited what a lot of younger people have. They have never actually had to they sad to say they've never actually had to like interact with people to play D&D. They just play D&D over Skype or Discord.
Right.
I guess no longer Skype.
Not Skype
I would say
no
Rip and
more.
Pepperoni's. I was about to say Rip and Pepperoni Skype, but honestly, I always kind of hated Skype, so yeah.
Dead end. Yeah, you see, Microsoft buys it and it goes to crap. It's like, it's just the cycle of technology. Okay, so that was just a dead end. See,
meanwhile, Ditaku's there just laughing to himself because he's like, yeah, and they bought your Minecraft.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm just gonna say it. Notch really didn't say anything particularly provocative. The internet is just full of crybabies who are looking for a reason to be mad.
These people never do, really, honestly. I mean,
like,
because
literally all he said, as I recall, he said, someone said something like, White Lives Matter, and he agreed. And then someone responded with Black Lives Matter, and he agreed. He's just like, yeah, they do. You're correct. That statement is fine. And they still like, oh my god, he's a Nazi, and he hates people. He hates everyone. He's so evil. You should cancel him. And I'm like, he didn't actually say anything provocative, though. You're just deliberately taking him out of context. And honestly, the philosophy he used for Minecraft is way more compelling than whatever it is Microsoft is doing. Have they done good things? Yes. Was Notch's, like, way more interesting? Also, yes.
I mean, I'm going to probably say my hottest take here now, Professor. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jimmies and Timmies, and Bimmies and Limmies and Chaticos, The entire world, people have uncouth opinions. They have thoughts in their brains. I'm not talking about intrusive thoughts. I am talking about things that they think and they know that they can't say because they're like, either this is going to get me in trouble or this is going to effectively get me unpersoned by people I care about. So they self-police. Everyone does it. But I guarantee you that the world has the vast majority of people are far more based than they will put on. Simply for the fact that society itself basically is forcing people to self-censor.
Yeah, that's the long and short.
So just, as you lie awake at night, just remember and know your mom, your dad, your grandma probably have opinions that will make you go, oh.
This is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You come out that tube fast enough, you're slamming into the ledge. I also just realized the game has a little bit of an in-game echo. That's interesting. Gives you that hollow feeling. I don't mean hololive, I mean hollow as in cavernous.
You're now imagining a liminal VTuber company called Hollow Live.
Okay, Dataku, are we taking the high road or are we taking the low road?
Let's take the high road.
All right, I'll go this way.
Both metaphorically and also literally.
Sounds like air currents are coming up from down there. Which means something's happening. Well, you know what the poem says about the road less traveled.
It's a dirt road out in the middle of nowhere.
And you know what? You're going to find a little hole in the wall, mom and pop Tex-Mex shop. And, 5 hours later, you'll regret having eaten it. But it'll be the best damn Tex-Mex of your life.
And their daughter's there, and she's the waitress, and she's actually really cute, and, she learned your name, and then, you two get to know each other, and you settle down, and you have, get married, and you have 3 beautiful children.
Nathaniel and Superfly.
And you're like, wow, this is the greatest. And then your wife comes to you, and she gives you a kiss on the cheek, and she goes, honey, I have something to tell you. And you're like, what? What is it? My devil, my blossom. And she just goes, beep, beep, beep. And you realize you had been asleep this whole time.
Oof. That's right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's right in the feels. Wait, did we just go in a big circle? Did that just...
I think we did, yes.
I think we did.
Are we stepping in water right now, or is that just running water in the background?
That's running water in the background.
This entire place seems really wet.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, even the tile that's, like, on the quote-unquote, like, dry end of the pool is all really freaking wet. I'm putting our hero through our workout. I don't know if it's actually limited stamina or if he has pants after running. But, like, I'm making him run an awful lot.
Man, don't you know I'm 600 pounds? The most exercise I get is, running to the pizza place.
Ugh, that's rough.
Man, don't you know I'm a mod on Reddit? I do it for free. I'm on the r/pizza.
That's a different slide than the one we were on earlier. Let's see where this takes us.
Pizza politics. I'll ban you if you put pineapple on pizza. Beast. Beast.
What about pineapple and shrimp pizza there, Ditaku?
All right, Professor. I'm officially casting my gauntlet down on you. At you. Yeah, I'm throwing my glove right on top of you, just dropping it.
All right.
Okay. All right. So just so everyone knows, Jimmy, Bimmy, Jatico, everybody. Nick, I challenge you to make Common America as common ramen's Japanese pizza.
Apparently that's a really common recipe in Japan. Really the only thing that kind of puts me off is the mayonnaise, but you know what? Fine. I'll humor this demand. Wait.
Yeah, thinking on it, that's
earlier? No, this
thinking on it. That's the only thing that I would think would be difficult because, would you have to put it on before you bake it? Would you put it on after?
Yeah, would you treat it like the marinara sauce otherwise? That's an excellent question.
Because in my experience, and just not to brag or anything, but there are a lot of Japanese places in my area, and so I have experienced this a lot. But in most situations, in most dishes I've seen, Japanese mayonnaise is treated more like a sauce rather than a spread. Most European places use mayonnaise. So it's treated like the way we would treat ranch or buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I have to look into that.
Well, I'll look up the recipe and make the determination.
But yes, I challenge you to do that. I know you haven't done a snacking with Snek in a while, but you brought that to my attention, and you're like, I don't know, it seems kind of interesting. I'm like, all right, whatever.
All right, Snek, Kitaku said with a scowl on his face.
This is your wife. You gotta eat what your wife made, that you made.
If Common Ramen made me literally anything, I would eat whatever she put in front of me with a smile on my face.
Well, understandable. Understandable.
I am not a complicated snack.
No, you're not, and that's okay. I have come to appreciate that, and hopefully you have come to appreciate my eccentricities. So.
I think you have to be a bit of a weirdo to be a Tomo bro, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least a little.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
We're all a little unhinged in our own special ways.
Yes. Special ed. What? I mean, what?
Well, you're not wrong. No, an exit sign.
All right,
we're getting somewhere.
Speaking of which, unrelated, but kind of related, we should, have you talked to Ed about potentially doing Pal World?
I have not. I know when Pal World first dropped, he did pretty extensive coverage. The exit sign leads to a dead end. Why am I not surprised?
I'm just saying, we all have the game.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll ask him if he wants to do a video with us on that. I don't know. I know he's pretty busy because he actually has a life, unlike me. But that's a good idea though. I think we should explore that avenue.
I really like the game. I mean, it's kind of grindy at later levels, though.
Yeah, no, it's grindy, but the thing that's really funny to me is everyone was like, "Guys, it's Pokemon with guns." And it really just goes to show how every single monster game is just a Pokemon clone to the uninformed, because it's not. It's more like a survival building game. It has more in common with Return to Moria than it does with Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically Ark Survival Evolved or Minecraft, really, but instead of there just being like pigs and sheep and raccoons and stuff,
Just they're all
it's you
monsters.
have legally distinct Pikachu.
I don't know. That's the kind of funny thing is like Palworld doesn't really seem to have a standout mascot in the same sense that Pokemon does. Like
I
even
I
Digimon can be
think
said to have the
uh,
Agumon line.
I think Volt Grizzly is kind of the mascot.
Right.
I see him pretty much whenever someone mentions Palworld, but he's kind of hard to get. But then again, I suppose much in that same way, Pikachu was kind of hard to get in Gen One.
It's like, yeah, it was kind of an uncommon encounter, and the earliest you could find him was Viridian Forest. Which I did
Mm-hmm.
in my very first run of the game. I had the official strategy guide for Gen 1, which offered a lot of very strange and oftentimes counterintuitive advice. And
Oh, is that where the infamous Oak Pokemon tips come from?
no, I don't think I
Right.
had that one, but like I remember very distinctly where it said that like you shouldn't evolve execute. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what? That makes no sense. Executor is like one of the best known like high end Gen 1 Pokemon from that time. Like, why would you even suggest that? Leaf stones are
Not,
not hard to
yeah.
come by, especially not by the time you have
Ex-
access to the Safari Zone.
Executor, yeah, is honestly not only is he beefy, he's a beefy boy.
Yeah, he
He's a
is.
beefy boy, but he also has a pretty unique typing, um, and he gets a lot of the really neat grass sustainability combined with the high power special attack
Yep.
that so
Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. And like, yeah, like it said that, and I don't know where the oak tips come from. I've never seen the source on that.
I think it
Uh,
was one of those like Prima, like the Prima guides that
right.
they would make.
Yeah, and
I
the thing
think it
that
comes from that.
was probably the thing that was actually really cool, and if you're too young to know what I'm talking about, uh, oh wow.
What the heck? A lot of water slides. Oh, okay.
So there's definitely something in the water. That achievement was not teasing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to go this way anyway after that. But
Let's leave.
let's go
Yes,
back
let's.
now. Yes. Like one of the things that was really interesting about the pre-game FAQs era was, you had to rely on like gaming magazines and strategy guides.
Mhm.
And they would do all sorts of stuff. I remember I had a friend who had a couple, and I owned a few growing up. Like, I had the strategy guide for Secret of Mana. And one of the things that was really cool is, like, they actually had some of the official Japanese artwork for several of the weapons and the elementals, which was super cool. It was just like, oh, dude, this is so neat. You get to see this cool official art that I wouldn't have been able to see just by having just the game. It was so much
Ripping
more.
pepperonis, visions of mana. You actually looked like a really good game, and it's a shame that you were basically like thrown under the bus by Phoenix doing a rearrangement.
Oh, I'm going down the giant tube anyway. Here we go.
Oh boy! All right.
We're still
Yeah,
gonna
we're
get
gonna
eaten by a
either
monster.
a giant, either like a giant snake or a kraken.
Something like that.
Maybe down there at the bottom.
This one isn't so fun. This one's more like a sense of
Oh my god!
it's a its eyes move. I don't think it's friend shaped, guys. That's a little unnerving.
Guys, don't you want to learn about the way that life is in the underground?
Nope. Nope, 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 nope.
Your game is terrible, and you should feel terrible. You're emotional manipulators. I'm leaving. Bye!
Well, the upside is this isn't the room with the giant serpent in it, so, hey, go us.
That's true. That's true. That's just way brighter. Meanwhile, people who listened to my earlier hot take will hear that immediately and be like, wait a second, he said something mean about Undertale? How dare him? How dare he?
It's Pac-Man ghosts. I'm sorry. What?
Something just squeaked.
Something giggled or squeaked or something else I don't much care for.
Uh-oh.
Their eyes aren't following me like the giant Pepe was.
It might not be them. It might be something else.
Could be. I still feel like getting through here expeditiously.
I don't blame you.
Just in case you guys get any weird ideas. I've played enough indie games to be very used to the idea of something moving when I'm not looking at it.
I played enough Spooky's House of Jump Scares. I know what's going on.
This would be really cool if it was well lit and, not foreboding AF.
Yeah, we can't have that here. Don't you know, someone said that, you're not paying our electricity bill?
Yeah, someone may have said that. Oh, the stairs are over there. Jeez.
Meanwhile, sex like curses, I'm foisted on my own petard.
There's a 50-50 chance that this video goes live before that one. There's literally no telling the future me. The order I record and the order I post in are not the same, necessarily. But sometimes they are.
Snek just goes YOLO swag 420 blaze it, and then just does it.
I make it up as I go. Honestly, that's why I don't keep a week-to-week schedule. It really would do no one any good. Thought I saw a door up here. Well, I'm up here anyway.
Whee!
Whee!
Don't you feel your childlike innocence returning? Whee!
So where is the door?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer to that. But hold on. Is it over there?
This might be a tunnel. Yeah. Okay, it's underneath the slide.
Why is everything so wet? This is really gross.
Well, I know a lot of liminal space games use pools and water areas. It's a pretty common theme. It's really weird how dark that hallway is, and then you cross the threshold and it's just really bright.
You're saying that lights doesn't work that way?
Yeah, light reflects.
Yeah, you're right. Light also would, go into the corridor ways, yes.
Okay, Ditaku.
Come on, Snek, you know you want to. Slide, 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 go, go, go!
Whee!
Childlike innocence, whimsy!
Whoa! Childlike whimsy almost threw me straight off the ledge. The ledge is rounded. They're inviting people to leap to their doom.
I think they are, judging from that slide right in front of us.
Yeah, I was about to say, that kind of tells it all. Thankfully, there was enough friction to stop. Seriously, this is a death trap. You would literally only do this if you were completely idiotic.
I'm onto your game, Snek says.
I'm dimly cognizant of, cause and effect.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit. What's the point of this room? Let's check over here first.
Ew.
That looks weird. Also, the slide ends in a vertical drop. Again, this place is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Once you figure out who owns this place. Why is that so dark? Good grief. This is definitely going to get me killed. YOLO swag 420 blaze it. Hashtag squad goals.
Wins. Slide for Becky. Woo!
Alright.
Slide for Becky. Perhaps those were the squad goals we made along the way.
Do we go up or do we go down?
Let's go down.
Alright.
I have a sneaking suspicion going up would just loop us back to where we were earlier.
Yeah, there's definitely some chance of... I guess we go up no matter what. Oh, good. The first Pepe wasn't nearly traumatizing enough. So, options are up and up. I'm sorry. Why does it feel like I'm suddenly in Jurassic Park? Oh, it must be because he's close enough to start tracking where I am. Yeah, I can stare at you too. Not so tough now.
Do about it. What you gonna do about it?
Oh, what the heck? Let's go down the slide.
Is this literally just going to be walking around as, like, weird things happen, and that's going to be the game?
Generally. Oh, I can't. Dang. Okay, Ditaku. Which door are we taking?
Let's go to Sinister Path.
Seems right. You weren't there a second ago.
Weren't we literally here?
I think so. I'm looking at this feels familiar. But then again, it's also a little different. I have to say, if they're going for that mess with your head by having similar but slightly different rooms, they're succeeding. Let's go check that hallway out over there. This ends up being a wash. We always have the option of doubling back. Don't trust those Pac-Man ghosts, man. At some point, I'm going to turn around and they're going to move when I'm not looking at them. I guarantee it. Now whether they actually... Yeah! No. This is different. They are just screwing with me. No! This loops back! We've definitely been here before. Yeah, this is the divide we just went through. They're messing with me. Okay, guess we're getting our steps in today. A number? 2811023845 6. Well, it's ticking up, but I don't know. Is it a step counter? No, it's a timer. There's some kind of business desk. Wouldn't you love this to be your office? Please, come into my office. It's only going to take you, 40 minutes to walk there. Quit smoking. That's good advice. And a weird picture of a mannequin, because I, too, like to keep pictures of mannequins on my desk. And it's an upside-down no smoking sign. Or it's, expressly forbidding a certain type of feminine hygiene product. Well, this is cool.
If it's upside down, does that mean it's allowed? So you're required to smoke in this area?
Maybe. But given that we just got done swimming like a million times, if we had smokes on us, they're not going to do us any good. And that place looks fun. Definitely a hazard for children small enough to play on that kind of equipment, though. You can drown in like 3 inches of water. I'm just saying. So what do we do, Taku? Do we go down to the playground, or do we head up the tower?
Let's go up.
All right. Getting our steps in. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess, compared to like a step machine, at least we're getting somewhere. I don't know where. We're probably just getting more lost, but we're getting somewhere, and that's what matters.
Oh man! Banning people from pizza! r/pizza! Ooh, is way less! Oh man! Oh man!
Under construction. I think that's a literal statement. As I recall, this game is technically early access. So that might actually lead to a branch. Which, they could have put those signs down at the split, but you know what? It's fine. If I was Sonic the Hedgehog, I could just grind down this rail. Can't catch the hedgehog!
Going down to the edge of tomorrow, live and learn. I don't really actually remember the words to the song, live and learn.
It's fine.
It's
fine because we can't pay for it anyway.
And welcome to Crush 50. With their hit singles, I Am Completely Me, Open Up Your Feelings, and,
Can't play on the playground equipment, then what good is it? Of course, I'm also a grown man, and this is probably built for small children. So...
I'm 600 pounds!
The 600-pound Redditor who can just run indefinitely. Oh, they're water jets! I was wondering what I was looking at.
Are you going to be able to go through there?
I don't know. I think so, but I just want to see if there was any other ways. No, I think that's the only door. Alright, I guess this is what we're signing up for. We're going to get a quick, shower. Oh, yeah! I knew you were going to do that at some point. I just didn't realize it was right that second. So, going back is no longer an option.
Well, I apologize. I did not realize that they actually were alive.
Looks like that's as far as they want to go. But maybe that's a signifier that we're at the end of the water zone. Not every liminal space is wet.
I'm sorry, Snek. I can't think of, a what would a legally distinct version of live and learn be? Cohabitate and contemplate.
You know, that could work. You know what? It's cool. I didn't want to go this way anyway.
This looks like Itaku trying to build a castle in Pal World.
Let's try going up.
In my efforts to try and produce a interesting building, I did some interesting architectural decisions, shall we say.
You put my bed under a flight of stairs, like I was, the red-headed orphan child of our group.
Now, Snek, you'll be able to be the hero of a young children's fiction story. Hey, I mean, I'm just saying, if you wanted to not be, the Harold Podmore of the group, then you shouldn't have just said, hey, Titaku, you're in charge. So, Titaku gets to be the one who lives on the 7th story.
I was busy
palatial
exploring.
estate.
I was busy exploring around and gathering resources. I didn't know
Besides,
I
you're on
the
this.
stairs.
You're on the 2nd floor. It literally is. You're way easier to get to your bed than mine.
I mean, granted. What the? The stairs terminate into the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's literally into the line.
Mm-hmm.
What architect came up with that?
Itaku.
They let Itaku build this place, and we ended up with liminal hell.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why the Pac-Man ghosts are here, though. I can't tell you that one.
Maybe they moved in after the fact. Free real estate.
I mean, it is free real estate, so I can't blame them. That's where we started. Is this entire thing just a dead end?
No,
Can we go further down?
Looks like we can go further. Get lost in the void? Was that how I clear the chapter? Or did I die?
No, you're...
No, I'm fine, apparently. That was different. So I guess that one way... There's one other path I didn't take. Maybe... Was it this one?
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I thought going up would lead me to that.
Haven't we already gone here, though?
No, this is new. We've been in a couple similar-looking rooms, though. The only way out is a slide, which means this is going to be a one-way trip. So, let's see if we get eaten by a monster. The thing with these liminal games is it's genuinely difficult to know if it's one of the ones that you can die in or not. It looks like falling into the void was more or less just yeah, you died, but dying is a non-issue kind of thing. I'm here again. This is where I turned and went up the corkscrew. Isn't it? Once again, it's a similar but different room. Yeah.
A lot of these places look... Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Have I exhausted every path on this side? I mean, these are exploration games. There's supposed to be some dead ends and some things that are just the dev messing with you. I bet if we had...
This entire game basically is places that look similar.
Alright, you guys are blocking my ability to go back. So I have to go this way. So at least we've ruled out that possibility. Was there another room in this one? Doesn't, unless it's behind the frog. Aha! Aha. I see your shenanigans. This has a feeling of finality to it.
Welcome to Moist Heaven, Snek and Itaku. This is where you'll spend your moist eternity.
Yeah, I think that's exactly
in the world's creepiest water park.
I'm sorry.
Little Tommy Tompkins was the dust for the fool. Didn't know which was the sun or moon. He just said to Tommy,
I choose to ignore that.
well, see if you can sing it while you spell.
You have fun down there in moist heaven. A ball pit right next to an open drop. What's OSHA, anyway?
Apparently they don't exist anymore. And with that, Clockwork proceeded to, let loose, 3 cheers.
The OSHA-compliant stairs will never again hunt the bun boy.
Ah! Did you?
I thought we were leaving moist. I'm ready for not moist.
Don't worry, you're here forever.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. If I was locked in a weird water park situation like this, I'd probably try to make the best of it. I'd go on the rides. I'd go on the lazy river. Generally try to have some fun with it. But after a certain point, you need a bathroom and a shower. Don't you dare suggest that you go in the attraction. That's not okay.
Heard it here, folks. This is Snek's hot take.
You know what? Okay,
water rides.
This is the hot take. You do not ever go in the water park, in the attraction. But if you want to pee in the shower, that is perfectly acceptable, and no one should tell you otherwise. Like, you're in the shower. Who cares? Also, that's actually a way to treat athlete's foot.
Yeah.
I'm going to go this way. Yes, athlete's foot is actually a fungus, and the acidity in the urine will actually kill it. So...
it's all going to the same place. It's not like they go, oh, this is toilet water. It has to go to the toilet treatment plant. And it's like, no, it's just going to the water treatment plant. All of it is.
Yep. Speaking of toilets... This is definitely going to get me killed. Alright, let's do it.
Hello! Where's it?
It's like, if we're lucky, we'll land in water, or, I don't know, maybe the ball pit we saw before.
Whoa! Nice.
Alright. So, it turns out it wasn't just a sheer vertical cliff, so that's the good news. Oh, I think this is the lazy river. It's a psychedelic 1970s lazy river, but it's a lazy river. I'm okay with this.
Hey, Pepe. How you doing, man?
Don't think I can climb out of the water. I think right now I'm locked to the canal.
Oh no, there's 6-inch incline. It's trapping me.
It's far too much. I can't surmount it because I'm too fat to do a single pull-up.
Maybe.
Well, the mushrooms are part of the water attraction. I was kind of wondering about that.
Being the moderator on r/pizza sure is taking a toll.
Looks like we're reaching the end of the canal. Left or right, Itaku?
Left.
All right.
I'll tell you some, I don't know if you're aware of this there, Professor.
Hmm.
Even though I am left-handed, and, I'm sure you are aware of that,
Of course.
I have been left-handed in a right-handed world so long that I have actually acclimated, basically. And so now a lot of things I do entirely with my right hand. Like I cut with scissors and stuff with my right hand, and I use a right-handed mouse. Honestly, I find using the left-handed mouse to be frustrating. So
I get that. Why is it so dark, though? Oh, this is a tunnel. I thought it was another slide.
yeah, I think that's just another dark corridor, of which there seemed to be no end game.
No, that doesn't seem to lead anywhere. But,
All right, you little weirdos, you mind your own business, and we'll mind ours. All be friendly.
I'm not breaking anything. I'm trying to leave. If you
Mr.
want
Rogers,
me to leave, then the fastest way to do that is to let me do my thing. And I'll be out of your hair, or lack thereof, soon enough.
all be friendly neighbors. Yeah.
Looks like we have an agreement, or some kind of understanding. What's this? Ooh, this water is actually clear. It swam through so many pools with green water. This is kind of a refreshing sight. But, yeah, no, Itaku is left-handed. I'm right-handed. And as a result, when we were working on projects together, we had to sit in a particular configuration, or we'd keep bumping into each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that you guys are just staring at that entrance like you were just waiting for me. I know that's the point, but still. Let up a little.
Oh, we just wanted to be friendly. And we're very shy.
Go chase Pac-Man.
Wait, you can do that?
Well, if you want.
Oh.
Because you haven't run into that dragon or... You know... There's something to be said for subtlety. I'm just going to Leroy Jenkins this and hope for the best.
Is this the point where they start chasing us? I sincerely hope not. Are they turning to face us?
Yes.
They are...
Please don't chase me. When a liminal game turns into a generic chaser, it tends to lose an entire letter grade. In terms of... So. Dark, creepy hallway. Bright, lit staircase. Definitely the dark, creepy hallway.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate to say it, but it's probably the dark, creepy hallway with the sewers and slides.
Everything is moist. Everything's cool when it's constantly hydrating.
Well, you're keeping hydrated and you're in your lane, literally, so... The only thing that this isn't is it's fleshy.
Yeah, that's true. This could be worse.
That's apparently a thing in my family. My oldest sister,
Hi, Pepe.
Poogum.
Alright. Oh, these are cute.
I mean, well, you
Oh, they're physics objects. I
Or-
can mess with these.
or I don't know. Sister Pugum.
Pugco.
She, huh?
Pugco.
Puko, yes. She had two words that she absolutely could not stand if people said to her. One of which was moist, the other was fleshy. She's just like, they sound weird, they're gross, I don't like them. And so it was always a case of, you say one, you have to say the other.
That's fair. Oh, this is wholesome. Yeah, no, this is great. Take me
Actually, this looks kind of cute. I like this.
I especially like that
I don't like the fact that it's leading off into the void, but
But you know what? I've done dumber things today. Legit. This is probably on the saner side. Into the yellow lane.
embrace your whimsy.
Whee! Oh my god, this is gonna give me whiplash.
What?
I went on a roller coaster like that once called the Hurler. It was the Wayne's World. Whoa!
Whoa! Well, that was actually kind of crazy.
Ball pit, ball pit, ball pit, ball pit, ball pit. The balls are actually physics
I like-
objects. This is really
I
cool.
like ball pits.
So I'd say I do too.
The problem is that there's always that one other kid who would drop a deuce in them and ruin them,
Yeah.
and they'd never be cleaned properly.
I heard a lot of that was like urban legend, but apparently that was an issue. Oh. I'm going into a Freddy Fazbear's. Cool.
Speaking
hey,
of
at
ball
least it's
pits.
not wet. It's just red and imposing. But hey, we're not in water anymore.
That's true. Just in a pizzeria.
Really unusually lit pizzeria. Red is the panic color.
Have you ever considered doing a pizzeria simulator?
You know I have. Of all the FNAF games, I think that's the one I enjoy the most. A familiar place. This place seems familiar. Does it? Unless you just get that for going into each of the little playrooms. See, Scott Cawthon mentioned when he was working on... When he finished Pizzeria Simulator, he was like, what would you guys be more interested in seeing? Oh, God, this is going to make me sick. He's like, what would you be most keen to see? Would you want to see an infinite simulator mode or an ultimate custom night mode where it's all focused on thwarting the animatronics? I voted for the simulation mode. So I think that'd be really cool. Like, actually operating your own Freddy Faz. Like, it wouldn't be limited to the 5 days story mode. Oh. Back to some semblance of normality. And, you made Ultimate Custom Night. And don't get me wrong, Ultimate Custom Night is very cool. And it was free. So, props to Scott for being willing to do that. Especially because apparently it was quite the endeavor because he wanted each... Cool. Very cool.
Okay.
I don't know what I expected. I don't know why I expected it to be good. That really was just on me. Does this have a horrifying giant face? Oh, it's a full-on Titan. Yeah, legit. You got arms and legs and everything. The other ones are just faces as far as I can see.
Okay.
No, there's nothing. I'm almost disappointed.
That makes me worried. Because where is that one then?
That is a good question. Oh, this is great. I love this. This is definitely where the Titan went.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ooh. Ball pit.
Whoa! Woo!
All right. Game chugs a little while you're in the ball pit, but you know what? I'm okay with that.
Well, I don't blame it. There's like a million physics objects that they have to account for.
Your eyes move. There's a surprise. Sorry, little ghost
Hello,
friends.
friend.
Not your friend, pal.
Not your pal, buddy.
Not your buddy guy. Okay, so this is how this is going to work. Three-dimensional maze. Well, I guess, dropping butt first into a pit of balls, it could be, kind of fun. Here we go. I don't know, I never really considered a ball pit to be a liminal space per se, but I think it's an interesting execution.
I mean, if a underground, river is, then why not?
Yeah, let's embrace it. I slid on the carpet. With wet pants, you think that would actually stop me from successfully pulling that off? So we have some options. But yeah, as I was saying...
Hey, Snek.
Do
you have a Attack on Titan 2?
I have one of them. I forget which one, though.
The reason why I ask is because you reminded me. I'm like, the Koei Tecmo Attack on Titan games are pretty good.
That's true. I do remember having fun with the one I played. I'll double check when we're finished here.
Yeah. And
Is this a dead end? Yeah, I guess it is.
I don't know if you're familiar. The Enigma of Sepia game that came out.
I saw something about that. Yeah.
They made Eren into a tank character.
Okay.
So you have female Eren. And unfortunately, they don't really go into what I would imagine they would go into and actually give her Titan powers.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I found the entire Attack on Titan mythos being incredibly evocative. It's just kind of wish it was executed better.
Honestly, it would have been way better if they had actually leaned into having Titan on Titan battles more.
Yeah, definitely. Especially once Eren discovered the Hunter Titan form. Because the Hunter was his, right?
I believe that's the one that he got initially, yeah. And it was kind of a case of with the gum fruit being actually a mythic fruit, where it's actually that's not just the Hunter Titan, it's actually the Founder Titan, which is out of the 9, it's the one that's closest to Ymir's original Titan.
It doesn't have to. I'm not going to complain about that now. That's a podcast episode, but it's kind of ties into my born right argument about anime heroes. And Japan is notorious for it because they have the ancestor worship as part of their culture. I'm just
literally as part of their native culture, yes.
But the character doesn't have to be special. In fact, them not being special is more interesting.
Well, I mean, your protagonist has to have something special about them. Otherwise, why would you be writing about them?
I mean, yeah, they'll have something special about them, but it doesn't necessarily need to be that they're genetically the best tourist.
No, okay, so I get that. But what I'm saying is it might not have to be their heritage, but, yeah, I mean, the fact that they were going through particular events, that they're... I see you!
The game is clowning on me, literally.
Oh, somehow.
Oh, the game is chugging in this bit.
The light is changing depending on what level you're on.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. What? Am I really being Held back by those? Okay.
You cannot overcome the 2 foot tall.
Oh, right, I'm a 600-pound Redditor. I can't fit between those.
I can't get through. I'm being body shamed. I mean, and before anyone says anything, I'm in fact actually a pretty portly boy myself, so
Well, you're
it's
a
okay,
potato
I
cat,
can say
so
that.
that makes sense.
I'm a chunky boy. What can don't. I'm a loaded potato.
What are you looking at? Your mannequins are remarkably dim. I don't mean the lighting just
Well,
now. I mean that you're dumb.
They're literal blockheads, so you know.
That's true. Oh, all right. Getting the most out of those Pepe memes.
You know, the funny thing is that like apparently the original artist who did that for Boys Night, the original comic that Pepe came from,
Right.
he's like, I disavow. I hate it. I hate the fact that he's become that. It's like, dude, he literally was in like 3 pages of your very decidedly mediocre comic. It's just that his expressions were really funny, okay?
It's a lot of the time the memes are completely harmless. It's just like, ah man, feels good, man.
Yeah, the problem is though is that, you know, much like we were talking about earlier, everyone's so thin-skinned now. You know, and so they're like, oh my goodness. I think you did. Yeah, I just...
Alright. Let's explore my options.
That's the slide that we came from, isn't it?
Yep, I think so. That's where it popped.
Are there any other options if we're on the ground floor?
I'm not sure. Let's have a look. That's where it spat us out. This
I really like their big band music.
They certainly do. Something about that, you know, early 1900s aesthetic really goes a long way in indie games. I did one called Ignited Entry not too long ago that had kind of a 50s jazz kind of sound to the songs it used. That game was really good. That was by an indie dev named Jordy Boy, and I've actually done a few of his games without even realizing it was the same guy. His stuff is always consistently fantastic, though. He gives them all away
I'll tell
for
you
free.
a clown fact.
Oh, do
Oh,
tell.
nice. Okay, so you know the song, the stereotypical like clown song?
Yeah.
That one?
That's
March of the Gladiators.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's actually not supposed to be about clowns. It's supposed to be about 2 guys fighting to the death, which I always thought was funny. Which I suppose is ultimately like a kind of a dark joke in and of itself. So.
Yeah,
Come on, fat boy.
We're back to the slide again.
Come on, fat boy.
Give me your cheeseburger.
Oh, I'm being body shamed. Come on, fat boy.
Okay, so this is just going to put me on the other side of that wall. But maybe doubling back and retracing my steps is a good strategy here.
Redditor Coon proceeds to get stuck in the slide.
Oh, that's harsh.
No, I'm pretty sure this is a different place in the... Yeah, this is a different section of the maze. So we're making some progress.
Or at least we're discovering something new. Which I can't complain about.
Ah, we're in a padded room, right where Itaku needs to be.
Don't worry,
This is a
Taco.
joke.
The men in clean white coats just want to help you.
You got all the drywall you can ever eat. Oh, good. I was getting hungry. I've run out of nails. I need to go back to Home Depot.
Yes, it's a little known fact that pugans are fully capable of eating housing material.
It's the reason why for many years I lived right next to a Home Depot.
That's true. That way, whenever he was feeling
did.
peckish, he could just walk across the street and get a snack.
Yep. Like, one piece of drywall, please. And like, again?
Bro, I got the munchies. Alright, I'm back here again. Let's try a different approach.
Now, if you could jump, this would be markedly easier.
Yeah, that would make it...
But being, a 600-pound fat boy,
Did I just zoom my camera in? Oh, there's different camera positions. I had not realized that. Zoom in.
Ooh, spooky. Woo. So what's the deal with this place?
I don't know.
Just interesting.
I'm assuming so. I can't climb on any of that. So in
Yeah,
real
you
life,
can't
I
really
could
interact
easily
with it.
move. You think in real life I'd be able to just
Yeah, you would be able to
drag.
move that stuff. That's not even that hard. In a lot of places, you could just hop over.
Yeah.
But apparently our Redditor coon is so much of a big chungus that he can't, he just can't.
You just can't even begin. It's really, I get that there's dynamic lighting, and they're trying to make it somewhat realistic, but honestly, that makes navigation a little bit of a pain at times. And those lights literally right against this wall.
It is kind of frustrating, yes. And someone who can't see well enough as it is, being like, we're going to mess with your lighting! It's like, oh, this is not, atmospheric, guys. This is just annoying.
And that was the thing that we ran into with the Cabin Factory, was the lighting became a recurring issue mechanically.
And I understand what that one is supposed to be atmospheric. Like, one of the things with, determining whether or not it's haunted is supposed to be whether or not, the lights suddenly change. But it's just really dark to begin with, so...
Yeah.
Oh, this looks new. This looks new.
This is promising. At least that looping song has finally stopped. You gotta always check underneath stairs. Game devs love putting stuff behind you.
Ew. Note to self. In Snek's, horror ARG, proceed to put monsters under every staircase, like some kind of twisted Harry Potter.
Actually, funny enough, I saw an interview with the Valve team when they were talking about the design philosophy for Half-Life and the vent segments. And they're like, if you put a head crab in every single vent, it just becomes, a routine, and you get very used to dealing with it. If you put a head crab in every third air vent, you create a horror environment. And I'm like, that's shockingly devilish. Come on, Redditor-kun. Need you to keep up the pace here.
I haven't had any pizza all day.
No, I suppose he hasn't. If he woke up in that pool in the morning, then he's probably gone without sustenance or clean water for a while. Probably a few bellies full of chlorine, though. I feel maybe this way. I'm just making it up as I go. I could be completely wrong.
Predator Kun got, stuck again in another hallway. He can still butter himself up, literally. Oh.
Oh, you know what this is?
Oh.
This is the sheer cliff ball pit we saw before. That's where we were when we saw this.
Oh.
Alright, Redditor-kun.
Oh. No. Oh. Do we have to?
Whee!
Alright. Let's...
Oh, that's you're actually supposed to do that. Oh, good. We're back in Moist World.
Is that the end of the game?
No, that was the end of Chapter 3.
Oh.
Oh, it's actually clean water in here. Probably still chlorinated, though. I'm surprised that we're going back to the water theme. At this point, I kind of figured we'd be in, like, some hotel. They really like hotels in liminal space games.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of bored of this entire, running through, dilapidated sewer segments. I gotta say, speaking of which, sewer segments are always the worst sections of video games.
Usually, yes.
I mean, the one that always stands out to me is the one in the Los Angeles section of Bloodlines, where you are trying to find the Coven of Nosferatu, and you have to go through the water treatment plant.
Right.
That's full of Zamitzi battle beasts.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's also kind of annoying. Its water slows you down so much.
Well, I mean, it is thick.
I mean, yeah, it's thicker
Don't
than
think
air,
about it.
So, like, that makes sense.
It's significantly thicker than air, yes. It's also heavy.
That's true.
That's the reason why, you don't think about it, but, you get hit by a lot of water, and it will hurt you. Just by dint of it being so heavy.
Is that a reflection? Almost looks like a plant or veins. It almost looks, dare I say, fleshy.
He said it! He said the thing!
No, it's a pane of glass, I think. Yep, that's glass. Why the dramatic music, though? Is this like, is this like a big ol' aquarium? Is that what this is? An aquarium would certainly be a fun idea for a liminal space. A bit better than
when this is
bathhouse.
Oh my. Okay, I just had a thought occur to me just now.
All right.
Your face when we're walking through that one lady's digital aquarium in Actors' Memories. And so meanwhile, Ryuji and the others are harassing the lady who made it, and we're just like, hello, hello, where am I?
Where is everyone?
Mr. Obama?
So, quick chat about color psychology. If you want people to be on edge, the color red is the color you're looking for. If you want people to be a little extra cautious, yellow is the color. If you want people to relax, you want blue or green.
But, okay, counterpoint. If you're trying to have your dark vision, red is the color for light that you need. Which is the reason why in a lot of, submarine films and everything, when they go to high alert, that's what they're have the lights be.
Wait, is this implying I can walk on the walls? Certainly not. Oh my god, I'm walking on the walls. Itaku, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Like at first
Say
blush,
something
you look at the room and you're like, no, that's impossible. And then you look at the color on the tile and it's like, the game dev is telling me to run on the wall.
Uh-huh.
What?
Quick, say something inspirational.
Taxation is theft. Oh, I wonder if this is that missing Titan.
Snek says, makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. I am not in any hurry to find out.
Let's peek under the tarp.
No, let's please. Fine, all right.
I bet we can't, but you know, we can get reasonable. Nope, that is as close as we can get. There's an invisible wall. The world
Cowards.
will never know if that was the missing Titan.
Cowards. Game devs, you are cowards.
Not letting us know if
In
that's
real-
the Titan.
In real life, you would be able to walk over and
And
then
look.
peek under the thing. Yes.
Now this is pleasantly lit.
I'm so tired of these swimming pools. It's not scary.
That sounds
Oh,
bad.
good.
That sounds
Oh, so
weird.
we are in Pookie's House of Jump Scares now. Alright.
Well, if you fell down there, you would have a very long time to wave goodbye. You know, I'm kind of surprised they're recycling this theme already. We've only been removed from the water level by, like, one Titan. By one level.
By one. Yeah.
Wait, this was the split. This is when we started talking about color psychology.
Uh-huh.
Why would it... I didn't see any alternative paths in the room where it sounded like the monster was chilling out. Yeah, this is definitely where we came from. This is the area that looked like an aquarium, right? Maybe there was a path back here I missed. Maybe the point wasn't to loop around, but to loop you to here. Like benches, but
Very uncomfortable benches.
very. Not a fan of brutalism, I have to say.
Yes, and yet everyone goes,
Oh, but this is the modern future!
it's like, no, it's
Doesn't have
gross
to
and
be.
ugly.
Certainly doesn't have to be. This room is definitely significant, but I can't quite place on how. And I guess my real question is, even if I got in there, if I drop in from above, I'd be climbing the ladder back to where I was before. Not really grasping the through line on this one. In fact, you know, this is probably good for today. I'm a bit lost, and I feel like I'm just off the beaten path by a couple miles now, and honestly, I feel like backtracking is going to be just as pointless as going forward at this point. So let's just take a break. Thank you to Taku for accompanying me on our long and moist journey.
Not a problemo. This has been very interesting.
And hopefully we'll find answers next time. Leave a comment down below. You want to see more of this game. Or if this just bored you to tears, you can tell me that too. Just be honest, you know. Anyway, link will be in the description so you can try it for yourselves. And we'll see you guys next time.
Ooh, I'm very well hydrated. Unknown fear. Right behind you.